50 to 100 times stronger than heroin. Southwest Floridians caught up in a deadly risk, not knowing if pills sold illegally could be filled with just a few grains of the synthetic opioid fentanyl.
The temptation is there every day.
Tonight, to understand the problem, Fox 4 Investigates Community Conversation takes us exclusively inside this Miami lab. And what those fighting the now #1 killer of 18 to 45-year-olds are up against.
We have not seen for many years anyone selling the real oxycodones.
On the front lines of fentanyl. In a nondescript building just outside of Miami, a team of scientists works around the clock.
Formic acid.
They wear protective gear because what they're looking at kills tens of thousands of people every year.
Generally, they're around 2 milligrams, which is considered a lethal dose. There have been cases of other co-workers that have gotten higher amounts than 2 milligrams per tablet.
On this day, chemists are looking at a batch of 8,000 pills the DEA seized. They're light blue and stamped with an M on one side and the number 30 on the other. Anyone who has ever been prescribed oxycodone from their doctor might think they recognize these pills, and that is the point. That looks like the real thing to me. It's hard to, that looks like that'd be hard to tell from the naked eye.
Yes, they're definitely getting better. They're definitely a lot better made. Usually these pills are supposed to be oxycodone. However, I did analyze this once, and I can tell you they're not oxycodone.
Instead, what's inside is fentanyl, mixed with so-called fillers shaped in pill presses. Why? It's so cheap for illegal labs to produce, drug dealers can then use that cheap replacement to still sell a strong product. Is this mostly what you're saying is fake pills?
Yes.
Some other drug dealers may not know what they end up selling on the streets, as prescription pills are actually fake and filled with fentanyl. Designed originally to treat severe and chronic pain, just a few grains can be deadly.
I'm in the hospital, I'm still using. That's when I upgraded to fentanyl.
As recovering Fort Myers addict Mark Kelly Joseph told Fox 4 Investigates, he just wanted to get high. His story showing how now fentanyl's moved beyond pills to any drug, a risk he says didn't matter.
I've gotten high my whole life.
2021 was the deadliest year in U.S. history for drug overdoses. More than 106,000 people died. Florida had the second most drug overdose deaths in the country, with more than 7,800, behind only California. According to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, more than 2/3 of overdose deaths involved illicit fentanyl. 2022's numbers are not yet available, but the CDC is predicting the number of overdose deaths to rise. To find out more about the deadliest drug in America, Fox 4 Investigates came to Miami to speak with the DEA about their daily battle with fentanyl.
Chemical companies in China are shipping the chemicals over to Mexico, and then the two cartels are primarily responsible for making this deadly poison.
Deanne Reuter, the special agent in charge of the DEA's Miami field office, says the scope of the fentanyl epidemic is international. Do we have a grasp of how much we're talking about, how much they're bringing into the country?
Well, last year, just the seizures alone was enough to kill every American. In Florida, the seizures that we had in Florida were would be responsible for over 9 million potentially lethal doses.
But that's just what we caught.
That's just what we caught.
Is anybody actually selling the real stuff, or is it all?
We have not seen for many years anyone selling the real oxycodones anymore. Everything that we're seeing being sold on the street these days is illicit fentanyl.
Back at the drug lab,
They're getting better at getting the pills shaped closer together.
6 out of every 10 pills tested contain a lethal dose of fentanyl. That's a 50% increase from last year, when they tell me it was 4 out of 10. With each year, the amount of fentanyl increases, and so does the number of deaths.
There's no demographic that's free from this deadly fentanyl epidemic that we're seeing right now. It's across the board. It doesn't matter age, race, color, socioeconomic status. It's affecting everybody the same.
And I saw that effect when I visited with recovering addicts who spend every day helping others struggling with fentanyl addictions. Tomorrow, what resources they say the state needs as our community conversation on the front line of fentanyl moves forward to solutions. Ryan Kruger, Fox 4 Investigates.